Hi, welcome Raj. So in this mock interview round, we are going to identify your performance related to observability, tracing, and how can we perform observability enhancement in a real-time anomaly detection in production project. Let's say how a GenAI lead does at Birlasoft. So the current context which we are taking is Birlasoft, and the primary objective of this project is to detect production anomalies in real time, reduce downtime, and improve incident response. So I have shared a document with you which has a solution pattern where it does a streaming anomaly detection, plus it does an observability integration into the system, and there is a verified GenAI assistance as well, okay, in the system architecture. So here is a quick summary for your reference before we get into questions so that you are clear with the context about how you should construct your answer and in what context you should give that. So here, if you quickly see, enterprises generate continuous production telemetry from infrastructure, applications, logs, traces, deployments, and business transactions. Okay. Static threshold alerts remain necessary for hard safety limits, but they often miss multivariate patterns, slow degradation, and service-specific changes in normal behavior. So the proposed system, which I'm talking about, which does observability enhancement. So this system combines safety rules, robust statistics, streaming machine learning, and verification process. There is a GenAI system which is used only after this numerical decision is taken in order to produce a grounded summary, retrieve approved runbooks, and separate facts from hypothesis. So there are certain outcomes and there are certain prototype targets around it. Uh, in fact, before I get into this, let me give you a quick explanation here that what exactly it is doing. So basically, at Birlasoft, let's say there was one objective where we have to, where let's say an AI-driven observability enhancement has to be implemented in a real-time anomaly detection project. And what was the requirement? Requirement was to develop and implement a real-time anomaly detection system to enhance observability and monitoring in production environments, reducing business risk and uncertainty. So this is what was required. Now, what was the problem statement? I think with respect to the problem statement, I have given it in more clarity here. So here is the business problem and the users, those who are getting affected. So there was a problem of late detection of degradation. This was one problem. Then there were static thresholds in the system earlier, which due to which we cannot predict the alerts on time. Similarly, earlier manual investigations were being done. We wanted automated investigation to be done in order to diagnose the problem and protect the business from getting impacted. There was poor alert context earlier. There was low access to incident based decision making. Also, there was unverified AI outputs. Eventually, there was no AI systems as well. But in case if an AI system would have been there, how would their outputs be verified at production level? That is what was not clear to the system. Okay. So now what we wanted is, so we wanted a solution where these would have been the primary users for that particular system, where the site reliability engineer would be able to detect failure detections at as soon as possible. Similarly, there were certain other roles which were associated. So now we are going to so here, then there are the detailed requirements along with the system about what was expected, what were the functional requirements, what were the non-functional requirements, and what algorithms were taken into consideration. So once you go through with that, you'll have a clear understanding about it. So my questions would be around this context today. And so in this presentation, what we have here is, so I'll be asking you a question. You have certain touch points which you can, refer to and respond accordingly, so that later we can evaluate and identify what are the missing gaps in this particular category. Okay, so we are going to get started. I hope you are ready. Let's get started with the
Yeah,
first.
sure. Yes, I'm ready, Devanshu.
So, depending on this context, I just wanted to understand how would you design an enterprise grade observability architecture for a distributed GenAI application?
Okay. Hi, Devanshu. So, as an architect, if I want to design a observability framework for a GenAI platform, just I would be looking the observability as a just not a one extra. I would be considering observability as a one separate framework where it will help for the not only for development team, it will be helpful for the across the organization. So it will help them to identify the track the issue, what happened, what is the to track what are the latency. That's the reason the observability. So I will be designed observability by covering end to end GenAI workflow, which with focusing with more focusing on the entire flow the one. So instead of focusing on the one particular area, just I will be designing the observability layer from the entire flow. So entire flow, like for whenever the incoming request or whenever the user sends a query, from there till we sharing the response to the user. So I will be capturing all the informations were required. So whenever the user sends a query, I will be assigning, or I will be using some unique ID or correlation ID to identify a unique request, because every incoming request we need to track it. So for that, all the requests I will be assigning on a GUID or correlation ID or traceability ID. I will be assigning it. Then I will be once the request, then I will be the process will touch the API gateway. Let's say router agent, planning LLM. So in all the stages, I will be capturing all the informations. At each stage, I will be capturing the logs, metrics, and the traces. So three. mm, these are the three key layers. It will be help us to design the observability dashboards. Devan. So in a log, I will be capturing such as what is the prompt, what are the tools we have invocated, what are the retrieved context from the models. Then as well as what is the error, and is any flows, any decisions you have taken, that there it will be, I will be capturing in the logs. In the metrics, I will be capturing the latency, cost, what is the token usages, as well as what is the hallucination rate, what are the entire flow of what is the start time, end time of the request. In the metrics I will be using it. Then traces, and I will be in the traces, I will be enabling, and I'll be capturing the each end to end, how what is the flow each cap, and each step what are the step by step I will be capturing. So once this capturing is done, I will be designing the mm, I will be exporting uh, this metrics logs, metric cases into some tools like Open Telemetry, Prometheus, Grafana. Then I will be importing, and I will designing the observability dashboard. There also. So with this dashboard, with this dashboard it will help the organization. In future, it will help the organization to identify to help to do the root cause analysis, identifying issues, and as well as what is the for each request, what is the entire latency, what is the cost per request, everything it will help us to tracking the also. This way, I will be designing the end-to-end observability for a GenAI system.
Okay, sure. Let's get to the next question. So the next question is, what is the difference between monitoring, observability, and distributed tracing?
Monitoring is kind of in traditional systems as well. We do have a monitoring systems will be. we will be placing it. So monitoring system is kind of a simple, whether end-to-end flow or end-to-end process is completed or not, which will be output, static output only will be there. So will be static output. What is the way? If there is any error, what is the error? That is what in the monitoring. It's kind of end-to-end flow, whether it's successful or not successful. In case of failure means what is the reason behind the failure. That's what we'll be giving in the monitoring in place there also. While in observability, it will go one level up. But why the observability comes into place means in GenAI system will is a kind of a LLM models, everything is kind of a will be generating it, and it's kind of probabilistic one. So if you ask the same questions every time, the models will give you different answers. So that's where the place we are keeping observability. We're placing what is the latency, as whether the what is the token usage, what is the latency and the cost for per request, what is the time we have taken end to end. We just we have to capture that's where we have kept the observability. Tracing, what is distributed tracing means if the end to end process, what is the path, let's say end to end process, how we will be tracking whether for each request, each agent, what is the steps it's taken, and we'll have in detailed tracing will be there. So let's say if the routing is happened, once the routing is done, which tool is called, what is the input is given to the tool, what is the output, what is the condition is taken. It will be capturing the end-to-end path of the execution, Devanshu.
Okay, great. Okay, sure. Let's get to the next one. So, which telemetry would you capture for a production RAG or agentic AI system?
Okay. Which telemetry do you capture for production RAG or agentic AI system? Hmm. So I will be designing the I will, sorry, I will design telemetry using a layer approach. So, as I said that at each stage, I will be enabling the logs, metrics, traces. Uh, so logs, sorry, logs and my history, I will be capturing it. So for each will have each layers will help us to for monitoring, troubleshooting, and governance and optimization. They want to later, in case of instead of logging every detail, so I will be categorized and capturing into in the three areas as I said, logs, metrics, and traces. So I will in the logs I will be capturing the what are the transitions and what are the retrieve context, as well what are tool we have invoked and what is the errors, what is the tool what API we invoked, what is the API errors, and in case of any sensitive informations we are handling in the prompt or customer data, I will be masking and masking as well as encryption I will doing, and then I will be feeding into the logs. Uh, in metrics, I will be capturing into the what is the count of the request, what is the latency, and token, what is input token and output token, and what is the hallucination rate, and what is the success rate of the entire request, and as well as when it come to the traces, as I said in the previous one, the entire flow of the process, each step, the what is the part of the entire flow, I will be capturing the traces there also. I think this way, these are the telemetries I will be capturing in the production RAG system there also.
Okay, great. Coming to the next one. So, how would you implement distributed tracing across an agentic GenAI workflow?
How would you implement distributed tracing across? Okay, I've when come to the tracing, as I said earlier, so I will the tracing itself it helps to it what part the entire flow of the part I will be capturing in each step. So what is the user send the request, correlation ID of the request, what is the user send the request, and what is the API gateway, what are actions it's taken, and what is the roles got assigned, So to track it, to track back if in case of any issues come, access what. Then in case of any tools, we call what is the tool we have named, what is the tool we have invocated, for that tool, what is the input, output we have done invocation, and so as any validations we are doing it. So what is the before and after validation results, and what is the if in case if we are involving into human approval, then so what role that the human approval we achieve, that role we will be I will be capturing it, and before sending into human approval, what is the information we are passing these informations and all. I will be tracing. I will be enabling the tracing log, and I will be implementing it in the one show.
Okay. Let's get to the next one. So, how would you select an anomaly detection approach for real-time observability?
Anomaly detection. No, this one I am not sure about the one show.
Okay. Let's get to the next one. How would you reduce false positive and alert fatigue?
No, no idea.
How would you detect and handle concept drift in production telemetry?
This kind of we can say model drift also, right, Devanshu?
Yeah, yeah. This concept drift is model drift.
Okay, so when come to the model drift, so I will be designing such a way to, so whenever the end-to-end process, I will be enabling, I will be designing such a way to separate. I will be evaluation layer. I will be implementing the evaluation layer whenever the response we are getting from the LLM. So I will be designing evaluation layer as a LLM as a judge. Also, I will be implementing. So once we get a response in to the LLM, I will be asking LLM to do the evaluation the results. What is the results along with that user query, and if you are having a sample answers, I will sending. Then I will be asking the LLM to evaluate it. I will asking LLM to just act as a LLM evaluator. These are things I will ask to consider, if groundedness, correctness, and faithfulness, relevance. These are things, key things I will ask the LLM to evaluate it. The one. So based on it, I will be I will be identify I will reduce the model drift in production telemetry. The one.
Okay, great. So, how would you use GenAI in incident investigation without introducing hallucination risk?
How would you use AI in it? So in this case, is normal if any incident I need to do in the investigation, or I need to design a GenAI system for incident in the investigation. They also.
So, within this, wherever we have to identify the incident, wherever that failure is happening, there is a
Okay.
GenAI system at place at the end. If I show you the structure is like this. So let's say there is a detection strategy implemented and there is a anomaly detection system which is working. So on a fifth layer,
Okay.
there is a GenAI assistance working, which would be communicating in a in a more conversational manner. So basically, in the system, this GenAI assistant is deployed in order to ensure a grounded summary is given to the user once this anomaly detection is done. This is like
Okay.
explanation in an easy to understand way for those non-technical users, or because there were different types of users who might be using the system. may not be able to understand the anomaly appropriately, what exactly it is. So it will give a grounded summary. Apart from that, there is a runbook retrieval mechanism and a hypothesis adjustment. So, in case, I mean, to give the user a explainable, grounded reality about how that anomaly, is impacting the system and what typically is that anomaly. So, that is where a GenAI instance is set up in this particular case. So, so the question also the question is also trying to evaluate that when you perform some anomaly detection and when you have a GenAI assistant at place, so when you're going to give him certain inputs, it should not be hallucinating and responding to the users, and it should be more deterministic. That is what is the expectation. So how would
Okay.
you use generative artificial intelligence in this incident investigation? This is what the question is asking.
Okay. Okay. So in this in the case, if I want to use the GenAI for the incident investigation, so so let's say I will be accessing the I will be first I will be accessing we will be in place sure we'll be having a uh, yeah, enterprise system to access the incident. For this incident, I will be checking any telemetric information is available, logs or metrics, traces. So I will be, I will be collecting all those logs, metrics, and traces, and I'm feeding into the LLM models. From there, I will be retrieving. I will ask the LLM models to summarize and retrieving. Retrieve should not be too much technical. So with this trace and inform, I will be asking to give all the informations. It helps to them to resolve it to identify the direction, where is the exact issue, and what the steps we have to troubleshooting steps with these logs and matrix traces. So, like with this, I can able to help the peoples to investigate in the incident. Devanshu.
Okay, great. So we'll keep it till here in this round.